Hi guys, it's Kevin here with Crescent Moon Rising. I wasn't gonna do another upload or live stream. I'm gonna be doing an upload for Dylan later today. However, I do want to go over this because how do I say it? I have seen enough meh deck profiles. Right? Are mine any better? No, but at least I know they're not good. Right? What kind of aggravates me is seeing deck profiles that pass themselves off as the best while having no empirical evidence for it, um, and then just having really bad ideas and opinions, right? Um, so what we're going to do is, excuse me, we're going to be reacting to 5 deck lists for speed duels. Just the newest ones. Some of them I haven't watched, some of them I have. And from there, we're going to be breaking apart these deck lists, uh, highlighting good things about them, and then, tearing down the terrible things about them, right? So let's go with the first one here. I've just typed in Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed Duel deck, um, and I put on the filter for the last week because it's the newer stuff, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. The first one at the top here is called Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed Duel Relinquished Deck Profile May 2020. I'm something of a scientist myself when it comes to relinquish, all jokes aside. Um, so let's click on this. I want to turn the volume up so you guys can hear it. And this is by Karibo Bros. So let's check it out. See if it's any good. Hopefully it doesn't have any obnoxious music at the beginning. Oh, good, it doesn't.
Hey guys, Karibo Bros here.
So let's see.
This is the third attempt at filming this deck profile. So the first attempt went quite poorly. Filmed the deck profile, started uploading it to YouTube, then realised I forgot to include the extra deck because I'm a massive idiot. So this is the relinquished Thousand Eyes deck relinquished and Thousand Eyes deck profile. Obviously, we've got a lot of new cards in the new structure decks, Twisted Nightmares and Match of Millennium. Very much recommend picking them up.
Yes, great thing. First off, when you're doing a deck profile, always support the product and tell people, hey, you should pick this up. It's really cool, even if they're not playing Speed Duels at the moment. So yeah.
We are playing the new skill card Thousand Eyes spell. This is really good, but it is it can be a pain in the ass at the same time. It's designed very well, this card, or this skill even.
Yeah.
So once per turn you can use one of the 2 effects, which is you can discard a card from your hand to then either ritual summon relinquished. Basically this skill card will become Thousand Eyes restrict. No, Thousand Eyes ritual. What's the ritual card called? Where are we? Black Illusion Ritual. That's it. So the skill card will become Black Illusion Ritual by discarding the card to then let you summon relinquished. However, you can't attack the turn you activate the skill card. It's the same when you use the skill to basically be polymerization, so you confuse relinquished with Thousand Eyes Idle. So it's designed, as I say, very well in the fact that you can bring out a very powerful monster in the fact that in the form of Thousand Eyes Restrict, but you then can't attack your opponent, which is a massive pain in the ass. So
A massive pain in the ass, but a well-developed massive pain in the ass, so people don't complain too much, right?
in the future, I wouldn't be surprised if I do maybe swap the skill for Fusion Party, which people were playtesting with this deck before we actually got the skills announced, maybe like the week before the decks actually came out. So we'll quickly go on to the main deck playing 21 cards.
Never a fan of 21 cards of anything more than 20 unless it's to deal with stun or stall or burn. But we'll see what happens here. I haven't seen this one.
Starting off with 3 copies of Relinquished.
Fair enough. 3 copies of Relinquished. Always good.
I did think 2 was the right number.
Never play 2.
First, but it comes up quite a lot where you might even discard Relinquished for the skill to summon out Relinquished. And if you're going to summon a Relinquished and then summon a Thousand Eyes in the same game, you're more than likely going to use at least 2 Relinquished.
Yeah, okay, cool. We're not going to go too much into that, but the idea of actually seeing Relinquish being played at 2 always concerns me. Because, yeah, some people have some really great techs at times, and they're like, I only need to play 2 Relinquish because I'm going to be cycling with the Illusionist Faceless Magician or whatever, right? But you still need to see the card. You're not going to be cycling anything if you don't see the card that's been properly summoned, right? So, yeah.
Maybe even 3, so you might summon one, it will get destroyed, you'll summon another one again, suck up a monster in the turn after, or even in the same turn, summon out Thousand Eye.
Side note, I'm live streaming this now. They're not in the description right now, but I'll link everybody's channels in the description after this uploads, after the live stream is over. All the people's channels that we reviewed in video wise. So just a nice little extra thing.
So 3.
I think it's fair.
3 is needed, and it can occasionally brick. Playing 2 copies of Thousand Eyes Idol.
Yes, thank you. If you're playing Relinquish, you're not playing Thousand Eyes Idol, regardless if you're playing Thousand Eyes Restrict or not. If you're not playing it, you're not playing Relinquished. The card's good regardless. You're using it for Advanced Ritual Summon at most of the times, anyways. Even if you aren't really playing Thousand Eyes Restrict, so yeah.
Can make a case for taking this to 1, but you can occasionally get 2,000 Eyes Restrict out in the same game. So,
But yeah.
It's I say that.
Oh no, man! There's no revenue rolling in with the Christian video. That has been ad restricted, and now it has been not demonetized, but they're not actually putting any ads on that video. So I'm not making any money from that video, unfortunately. I wish I was, and at the same time, I'm kind of glad I'm not, because I don't want people saying, "Oh, well, you did it for the money." No, I did it for history's purposes. But no, yeah, I'm not making money off of that, unfortunately. There's a Patreon link. No, don't do that. But yeah, I'm not making money off of that, unfortunately.
It's very new at the moment, so we'll see how it goes. But currently playing 2, might take it to 1.
But yeah.
Do play for 1 copy of Advanced Ritual Art, so if you do use Advanced Ritual Art, don't
I'm gonna skip forward. 3 Sphere Karibo makes sense. If you're playing Relinquish, you're playing 3 Sphere Karibo.
1 copy of Illusion Faceless Magician. Basically, this card can be summoned from your hand or graveyard when a relinquished or Thousand Eyes fusion monster is destroyed in your side of the field. And then when this card leaves the field, you can reborn a relinquished or a Thousand Eyes restrict monster.
And that's why I don't play that card, right? Mainly for the fact that for Illusionist Faceless to go off and summon itself, a relinquished or Thousand Eyes monster has to be destroyed by an opponent's card effect. If it said it just leaves the field by opponent's card effect, or by battle or whatever, then fine, right? I would be more inclined, just like its own effect is when it leaves the field, you know, you get to summon a relinquished. If it said that, I'd be more inclined to actually play it, but this is why I side deck the Illusionist Faceless Magician instead of main decking it, right? But
So
I get why people play it.
It's just good resource management in the fact that you can always float between the 2 cards. Continue with the monster line, playing 3 Senju with 1,000 Hands.
Again, I think that's something we all decided on the decisive 9, or the definitive 9, I think is what we called it. Playing 3 Relinquish, 3 Sphere Kuribo, 3 Senju, definitive 9.
Max out at 3. Playing 1 copy of Sonic Bird.
I don't think you play Sonic Bird anymore. How does Pot of Greed work? Man, asking the wrong person, no idea. All jokes aside, I'd love to see Pot of Greed actually come to Master Rule again. Not gonna happen. I mean, everybody would love to see it, but not gonna happen, right? So Sonic Bird, though, right? Still being played and relinquished. I don't think you need it. If you're that concerned about it actually attacking, maybe you're not playing the most optimal relinquished or Thousand Eyes Restrict build, for speed duels at least. So yeah. I'm against playing Sonic Bird at the moment.
The skill, as I say, can be the...
I'm going to fast forward.
Black Illusion Ritual, so we have diversity in the way we can summon out relinquished, either with the skill or the 2.
Yeah, you can make the argument to play 1 Sonic Bird just to have an extra monster to summon, the ability to actually search for what you need to search, but more often than not, you're going to be in a pretty good position without it. And if anything, Senju itself, through a lot of testing, just feels like a card that gets in the way a lot more than it's worth. So why would you play a 4th monster like Sonic Bird, who's basically the same thing, that just gets in the way? The only reason I like Senju is because it does search for the relinquished, right? If I had another card that could search for relinquished and not be Senju, or a card that's always useless after the summon, then, you know, I'd run it instead. But, you know, what are you going to do? You have to be able to get to your relinquished to play. You're playing relinquished, that's your win con, you have to get to it, right?
It's making it a pseudo second copy of E. It's like the pseudo second copy of just going to get revamped. I mean,
Here's the thing I don't like, right? If you can skip past it, but he talks about playing this little engine here, right? In the form of one Apprentice Magician and two Crystal Seer. I very much dislike that. Mainly for the fact that, yeah, you can say, oh, well, if it's, it's another summon, and it gives me an extra effect of Crystal Seer, oh, I get to, look at the top two cards. Fine, right? I get that. For a lot of decks, that's great. If you're playing, like, if you looked at the Monarch deck that we built, the Apprentice Monarch deck that we built on live stream from the last video, yeah, it's great. It makes sense. You need to draw into your cards. You need to hit the right cards, right? But with this, you're wasting space for something else that could be more important, that could be better. In a game that's still still possibly seeing stall and burn, seeing something like Crystal Seer just to draw cards is bad. And here, if you're going to play Apprentice anyways, if you're going to play that little engine, why aren't you playing at least two Apprentice Magician?
Such as a Lower Darkness, we wouldn't even
Yeah.
bother with the old Spellcaster engine. But then I realised banishing our cards is not good. Whereas Crystal Seer and Apprentice Magician can help us float into smaller. Well, Apprentice Magician can float into Crystal Seer, and then Crystal Seer gives us that opportunity to execute two and take one.
And I get that, because originally I was playing Allure as well in my Relinquish build, and it's terrible. Right? Don't play. You don't want to banish your cards unless they're being banished for effects like with Jin or Sphere Creeper, right? So I get it. Again, 100% get it, right? Wanting to play the Apprentice Magician engine. However, floating these cards around gives your opponent the more opportunity to not only destroy it, you not getting the effect, now you're lowered in deck size, destroying certain cards, not getting effects off. If they're crazy enough to be playing Santa Claus, they're playing Santa Claus, or Lava Golem, you're going to lead yourself into Lava Golem by putting more monsters on your field, not getting rid of them in time. Sure, you can make the assumption that, oh, I'll get rid of them in time, but that case doesn't always come up. I mean, you're already playing one Sonic Bird and stuff like that. Sure, you can get rid of the Crystal Seer for Relinquished, but at the same time, you've got a lot of searching abilities already within the deck, in the form of Sinju and Sonic Bird, if you're playing Sonic Bird, right? So, yeah. The other problem with Crystal Seer is the fact that, it's going to put a card at the bottom of the deck. So unless you're shuffling, which you can with Sinju, you're not going to really see that card too much ever again, especially if it's a one-up. But we'll see what else he plays. Like I said, haven't really seen the rest of this deck, so maybe it'll make more sense at the end. I'm hoping so. But as of right now, I'm just not feeling it, right? So we'll see.
Always try and Dark Mimic in a deck where you'll draw one, but as I say, Crystal Seer is just better because you get the option where you see the top two cards of your deck and you get to choose which one. Everyone is your preferred choice at the time. That's the monster lineup. Moving on to the two spell cards. As I say, one copy of Advanced Ritual Art and Black Illusion Ritual.
Alright, so one copy of Advanced Ritual Art, one copy of Black Illusion Ritual. In my opinion, there's no reason to play Black Illusion Ritual anymore. Why? Because we have Advanced Ritual Art and we have this skill, right? Hear me out. If you want to play two Advanced Ritual Art, fine, I get it, right? If you're going to play that, then you play the 2000 Eyes Idol, which he does, right? Having the ability to go through the deck like that is a lot easier because you're going to be deck thinning anyways. And your Black Illusion Ritual is replaced with your Thousand Eyes spell. Yes, you lose your battle phase, right? But setting up with the correct tech cards, right, is a lot better than having cards that just run through the deck and are just terrible, right? But let's hear what he has to say. Let's hear the reasoning. Maybe I can be convinced.
Advanced Ritual Art obviously will just send one of the copies of Thousand Eyes Idol from deck to grave to Special Summon Relinquished, and it means we don't have to use a monster on board, so we can keep card advantage to a degree. Black Illusion Ritual is the normal spell card, which we can then use to hopefully banish for your Karibo from grave to summon out Relinquished. Three traps. Two copies of Dust Tornado because we don't like.
I wasn't convinced. That was just terrible. Dust Tornado, right? I'm against Dust Tornado and Relinquish. Let me explain again, right? If you're playing Dust Tornado, just to destroy back row, why instead aren't you playing, what the fuck is that card called? The one that pops the face downs, and they can't respond. I'm blanking. I haven't had breakfast. I'm blanking. If you're not playing that right, why aren't you playing Twister? Because if you're concerned with, back row, I'd rather see you play Twister and play Twister personality on the side. So you can get more pops, right? Or better yet, why aren't you playing Spell Shattering Arrow if you're concerned about spell cards? Just saying, right? I don't like Dust Tornado and Relinquish. I don't think it's good. Better yet, why aren't you playing Double Cyclone to get the suck for a monster that was face down, destroy that, and then getting a better monster, right? Again, I don't think Dust Tornado is the correct card to actually play for back row destruction if you're playing Relinquished, right? Okay, moving on.
We just don't want to have to deal with it if not possible. The one copy of Jar of Avarice.
I didn't get any good reasoning behind that. Okay, cool. Jar of Avarice. Yeah, in the build that he's playing, yeah, okay, I get it, right? You're drawing through a lot of cards. You want to be able to recycle them. Really, really good, I guess. But you can mitigate that by playing better cards, which is fine. If you want to play Jar of Avarice inside for the stall matchup, I get it. Again, 100%. 100% get it. But,
Because this deck does think quite a lot. You don't want to lose the deck health, and obviously we can shuffle the needed pieces back into the deck and get a card advantage by drawing one onto the extra deck.
that was terrible. No offense, but that was terrible. I've seen deck lists I disagree with for Relinquished, but I can see actual reasoning behind people playing certain cards, right? Whether they be, fallible or not, at least, there's some type of reasoning behind it. Here, this was just, meh, right? Because the idea of actually playing a lot of these cards that are doing too much deck thinning, they hurt too much, and you're not giving yourself the ability to actually play really good tech cards for the format, so. I don't really think we care about extra deck. Oh, Night Beam, that's the card I was talking about, right? So he plays 3 Night Beam inside. Again, I'd rather see him main the Night Beam over the Dust Tornado. Yeah, I get it. Face downs are terrible to, spells in general are terrible to go against. Better yet, if you're playing Relinquished, right, in speed duels, why aren't you playing Double Cyclone again? The rest of the side deck, looking at it, is one more Dust Tornado again. Disagree. Ready for Intercepting, though, 100% agree with. I'm seeing a lot more spellcasters and warrior decks coming around. I get Ready for Intercepting, all right. But other than that, that's going to be that deck profile. Overall, scale of 1 to 5. Creativity-wise, I give it a 3. It's great. The ideas and the theory crafting is there. The problem is execution is terrible. Overall, deck building, I have to give it a 2. It's not an optimal Relinquished build. I see what he's trying to do here. I get it. You want to get Relinquished out. You don't want to give up your battle phase and speed duels with the skill card. I get it, right? That's, again, like you said, one of the pain in the ass, one of the most annoying things about the new skill card. But it is developed that way, so that way this deck's not overpowered, right? That's the last thing we want, is having everybody playing Relinquished in an overpowered format, which is like GOAT format light, right? So that's it for that one. Again, that was, what is it, Karibo Bros deck profile for Relinquished for May 2020. In the description, he does go on to say a very rough idea on how I think Relinquished will be played in this format. Comment below what builds you are playing. Let's craft the deck to retain its top tier glory. We're not doing it like this, all right? That's for sure. Let's go back and let's go to the next one. And this one was uploaded an hour ago of this live stream, right? And it's by Avault. If you don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of Avault. I love what he does. I'm glad he has a lot of interest for the game, but I just don't like the content that he makes. However, that thumbnail is fire that I'm looking at. It's really good. The contrasting green background is really nice. But here's the thing, right? This is on a Yu-Gi-Oh! $30 Guy of the Fierce Knight budget deck profile. Budget deck. However, have we gone straight to the meta? As meta as you can make it? Yes. Because here's the thing that I find a lot of times with Avault's videos is the fact that there's a lot of fluff and filler, right? I get it. You got to put out videos. You got to put out, videos constantly. That's how the algorithm works in your favor. If you can constantly put out videos, right? But this is terrible. I have watched this. I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to tear down why I don't like it and why I do like it. But let's go into it. So this is Avault's Yu-Gi-Oh! $30 Guy of the Fierce Knight budget deck profile. I'm going to have to fast forward because... Hey. Because this song at the beginning is annoying as hell. Oh, never mind. I clicked right.
First deck profile that we're doing ever since the release of the new starter decks Match of the Millennium as well.
True. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Another thing about Avault is the fact that he spends too much time at the beginning, at the opening, right? And then he talks about the sleeves and everything. Cool, you can show off sleeves, but if you're going to take up... Let's see how long it takes to actually get into the video. The deck profile, I mean. Oh my god. We've spent... I'm still fast forwarding. 2 minutes and 50 seconds. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. 2 minutes and 40 seconds, okay? We spent 2 minutes and 40 seconds on Avault's video talking about the sleeves he uses. But you're making a 16-minute video, okay? You've hit the 10-minute mark. Don't worry about the time that you have, right? If you're trying to drag it out, if you're like, yeah, look at these sleeves, these are cool, here's a link for them in the description, I don't mind. I find that amazing for people to make, sleeve recommendations, but this is bad. But let's go on and see what he says, what his Guy of the Fierce Knight budget deck is.
Check that out as well. Anyways, with Yami Yugi's skill starting up, we are playing none the other Knight of Legend right here. Now keep in mind, this skill is very juicy.
It's very juicy. If you go and watch a Guy of the Fierce Knight deck profile and they aren't playing Knight of Legend, click off of it automatically. Unless it's something cheeky, like really, really cheeky, as of right now, okay?
And very, very powerful. So we're going to have to go through it a bit slowly at a time because I want to explain to you new players who don't know how it works. Activate the skill during your...
Which is fine.
Main phase, each turn one Guy of the Fierce Knight, a normal summon, can be summoned without tributing. So apply the following skills while you control a Guy of the Fierce Knight monster or Guy of the Dragon Champion monster. If it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. Once per turn, if it inflicts battle damage with this skill, draw...
Read, right? I'm not making fun of him for making mistakes, right? I make mistakes all the time. But if it's not a live video, right? Cut it, start it over, refilm it. So that way it's easy to understand. Because right then I had a brain aneurysm. I thought I had a stroke from all of that. A minor stroke. Mainly from the fact that it's so confusing. When you stumble over your words like that, and you read a portion, you go back and you read a portion, and you go back and you read a portion again, you're not making it easy for new beginner players to actually go and learn, But we'll continue.
Draw 2 cards and discard 1 card. Now this skill just looks very, very powerful, but there is one drawback is you cannot activate set cards in the spell and trap card zone, basically. Basically, this deck, you can't play traps, essentially. It makes it very, very difficult.
Yeah, it makes it difficult to play traps. You can play traps, but it makes it difficult. Mainly for the fact that, again, your main beater's going to be Gaia, so when you have a Gaia monster, you're not going to be activating back row, so, yeah.
But we will get into more detail as we move into the recipe and the monsters. So, of course, we are playing the 3 Guy of the Fierce Knight right here. No less at all. You definitely want to maximize the qualities of this. It doesn't have an effect, but it's 2300 and 2100 defense. It's a level 7, which normally requires 2 tributes in order to bring this out.
So the fact that we do have something to summon a card like Gaia, to normal summon it, make it 2300 attack is it's crazy. Because I remember when people lost their crap over charging Gaia, being like, oh, we can normal summon a 1900 attack monster. Now you can normal summon a 2300 attack monster. But yeah.
And it's very, very not worth it. Because if you're going to be tributing 2 monsters, might as well bring out Blue Eyes. And there's actually even a better card to bring out Blue Eyes instantly. So with Knight of Legend, it allows you to normal summon this card without tributing 2 monsters at all. Basically, you get to normal summon this card for free, and immediately on your board you have a very high attacking monster, and it's just really strong and can overwhelm your opponent right in the early game.
Here's the thing too, right, about Gaia, which I don't remember specifically what he plays in the spells. I don't think he does play it. Yeah, he doesn't. Heatwave comes to mind, obviously. In any time in speed duels that you're working with vanilla monsters, right? Heatwave should be at the top of your list with it. Every time, at least even just for consideration. It needs to be there because it's such a great card that gives vanilla monsters that little oomph at the end phase, right? To make sure that your opponent's not going to get the advantage on you, and then that way, when you're going first, you just are able to have the actual first attack of the game, unless they're also playing vanillas. But if they're not, which they probably aren't, because there's so many other skills that are just effect monster based, great. But yeah.
So you guys know this deck is a very highly early game deck.
Yes, early game deck. Get it going. Get the charging on going and running with it, right? But yeah, we'll continue. There's a lot of things I disagree with in this deck. Like I said, I've already watched it before, but we're going to continue.
Next, we are moving into 3 Charging Gaia, the Fierce Knights.
I want to talk about that. If you didn't hear, 3 Charging Gaia, the Fierce Knight. Right? Terrible. There are better cards that you can play. Play it at 1. If you're going to play it, play it at 1. Let me explain. It's a 1900 attack monster. It's great. However, it contradicts with something like Heatwave, right? Heavily. So, please don't play this. You can't set it. Please don't play Charging Gaia the Fierce Knight more than 1. Ever. Okay? We're going to hear what he says for his reasoning here, but I'm stuck in that 1 Charging Gaia. You're going to play 3 of the vanillas? Go ahead. Perfect. 3 vanillas. 1 only of the effect monster. But let's hear.
Now keep in mind, charging the Gaia Fierce Knight has its own effect as well. You can normal summon this card without tributing. If this card is normal summoned without tributing, its original attack becomes 1900. And if it is tributed, you can add 1 Blackluster Soldier monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. You would never use
the last effect
of this card in this deck. Particularly in this profile, just so you guys know. But it being itself a normal summonable 1900 beater monster by itself is just extremely strong and powerful.
It is. Until it isn't. Again, we're not playing back row, so, you know, there are better strategies than summoning just a big monster and then letting it go, right? You gotta have something better. Well, let's continue.
Now keep in mind right here, with the skill is you can't use the free tribute skill part of the skill to bring out Charging Gaia the Fierce.
True. So that is something a lot of people need cleared up because, again, Yu-Gi-Oh players don't read, right? And it's the sense that Knight of Legend only summons the vanilla for free. So I'd rather summon the vanilla for 23 than normal summon Charging Gaia for 19. It only makes sense. However, Charging Gaia and Gaia both get the added effect of if they do piercing, you get to draw 2 cards and then discard 1. So you gotta weigh your options here. But I do think playing 1 Charging Gaia is probably the option. So
where it says activate the skill during your main phase. Each turn, 1 Gaia the Fierce Knight you normal summon can be tributed without tributing. You can't use it on Charging Gaia the Fierce Knight because it does say quotation Gaia the Fierce Knight, so you know it doesn't say monster or anything behind it. However, the second part of the skill does apply because it says apply the following skills while you control a Gaia the Fierce Knight monster. Now that the monster keyword right here is very crucial because skill.
Oh, I didn't mean to fast forward.
Is considered as a Gaia the Fierce Knight.
Just a reflex, I guess.
Monster because it does have that quote unquote in its name, so it does count towards the second part of the skill, just so you guys know. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys don't agree or if you guys have any confirmation with judges. Feel free to let me know, but I really do feel like this is why this specific wording was created, just so that to make Charging Gaia the Fierce Knight still highly viable along with this skill. So if this monster does attack a defense position monster, it does inflict piercing damage, and you still get to draw 2 and discard 1 card as well, which makes this skill so much better than this card right here, Spiral Spear Strike.
So the problem with Spiral Spear Strike, right, is that with Spiral Spear Strike, yes, your Gaia monsters gain the ability to do piercing. But the problem is that draw 2 and discard 1 only applies for Gaia, the Dragon Champion, on Spiral Spear Strike. Knight of Legend is a million times better.
And you would not actually not play this in this deck at all, because essentially Knight of Legend is Spiral Spear Strike. Next, we do for our other monsters, we do play
A better Spiral Spear Strike.
Vindictive Magician.
So if you didn't hear, he plays 2 Old Vindictive Magician. If you were playing Heat Wave, I could understand playing Old Vindictive as an effect monster. Hear me out. Again, you're going to set cards anyway. That's the only thing you're going to be doing once you play Heat Wave. I would understand. However, you're playing other effect monsters. You're not playing Heat Wave. You're not playing the Apprentice engine. Why are you wasting your normal set on an Old Vindictive Magician that a lot of people can just get rid of? Plenty of ways to get rid of, right? I think it's dumb. I think it's bad. It's not dumb. It's bad. Okay.
Very self-explanatory. Just to pop your opponent's monsters, any annoying monsters that you just don't want to deal with.
You know what's better? Playing Offerings to the Doomed. Yeah. Just because you can't set cards, activate set cards, doesn't mean you can't activate them from your hand during your battle phase. Yeah, Offerings to the Doom is a quick play spell, guys. Don't forget. You're going to be doing piercing anyway. You're going to be drawing off of the skill with your Gaias that you have. 3 vanillas, one effect monster. So what do you care if you don't draw next turn? Why wouldn't you play Offerings to the Doom? Or if you're really feeling dumb, I guess Tribute to the Doom, but Offerings to the Doom is better. I don't get it. I don't get why you would play Old Vindictive Magician in this build. But we're going to move on.
Really great. Better than Man-Eater Bug because it's safe.
Again, though, hear me out. I get why. This is a budget build. $30 is what he says. $30, right? $30 means getting 3 of the Yu-Gi Pegasus structure decks. I get it. Maybe he didn't spend the $60 to get 3 of each, right? So I get why this is built the way that it is built, but it's still a bad build. Just tell people to buy the $60 or buy online and then build the actual deck. Why are you never mind. Okay, we're going to continue.
One of your opponent's monsters, and you don't have to target any monster, so you don't have to pop your own in case there were no targets. Next, we are playing 3 Sphere Creepos.
I agree. Again, in a deck like Gaia, right, you want your opponent's stuff in defense. So you can draw. Obviously, you're going to do piercing. Protection itself also, right? If you're not playing Sphere Kuribo and Gaia either, I don't get it. Even especially if you're playing it, you're not playing it in a budget version. I don't get it. You get the Sphere Kuribos now, so. But yeah.
This is more as well as a monster, but it's more for a hand trap. The reason why you probably guys can probably tell already, we don't play any traps, or actually it's very underwhelming to be playing traps in this deck. It's not preferable at all, but Sphere Kuribo acts as a trap. It's a hand trap that turns your opponent's monsters into defense position so that your Gaia and Gaia Fierce Knight monsters can charge into your opponent's monsters and inflict piercing damage and utilize Knight of Legend skill, which is really, really powerful.
If you want to see a better, not to toot my own horn, right? If you want to see a better version, oh my god, we're only 7 minutes in. This is a 16-minute video. If you want to see a better Gaia, Gaia the Fierce Knight deck profile, I'll upload one. I'll upload one, and I'll even show how easy it is to pick up. You know what? My mother hasn't played Yu-Gi-Oh! With me since I was about 7. I'm 23 now. That's a long-ass time, right? 16 years. If I can teach her Gaia the Fierce Knight, right? She understands it. She knows basic Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, right? She understands it enough. I'll film the video, a duel video between 2 decks. And you know what? I'll have her there during the deck profile too. So if you guys would like that, give it a thumbs up if you're watching this. But yeah. I'll make a community tab post about it too, for sure. But yeah.
At the same time, it's a great defensive tool to protect yourself from any monsters that you do want to protect or any attacks potentially. Also, Sphere Crable, just so you guys know, does have a ritual type of effect where it can like sort of substitute for a ritual requirement for being a level 1. However, you would never play this in this deck as well, just so you guys know. The fact that it's able to be a hand trap to turn your opponent's attacking monster into defense is already really, really great. So you'll be utilizing that only. Next, we're moving on to our spells. We are playing 3 Summoner's Art.
Again, here's what I'm going to say about Summoner's Art, right? Summoner's Art is a great card. Again, high-level normal monsters, you're playing Summoner's Art. You're not playing 3. You're never playing 3. My opinion, unless, okay, right? My opinion here is when you play Summoner's Art, right? You're going to play 1 less than the amount of monsters that you have that can be searched by it. That's my opinion, right? If you're playing 4 normal monsters that can be searched by it, I think you're playing 3. But if you're not, you're playing 2, so I very much disagree with 2. But yeah. Oh, hold on. You're back. I'm just doing a live stream. I guess I'll eat more lunch. Nobody cares. Nobody cares enough to care about someone not eating. But yeah. I'm just doing reactions to deck profiles and stuff like that, so yeah. Okay. It's terrible. Where can I put this? Right here, I guess. Okay. Where were we?
I did mention earlier that this deck is a very, very powerful early game deck. You'd want to play 3 of these. I highly recommend 3, nothing less. Simply because with 3 more, you're basically having access to 6 Guy the Fierce Knights.
You're playing a 20-card deck. Here's the thing, right? I get the idea of wanting to play the most consistent ability to get into your Gaias, right? Gaia the Fierce Knight. The problem becomes, when does Summoner's Art become dead in hand or dead in the deck, right? Because if you're behind for whatever reason in late game and you've already gone through your 3 guys because you drew 1 and then you use 2 Summoner's Art to go through the next 2 and you need something to come up from behind and you draw into a Summoner's Art, you've lost. So always, if you're going to play Summoner's Art, the rule is 1 less than the amount of monsters that can be searched by it. Unless it is so important that you need to have it like first turn. With this deck, you really don't need to have it first turn. You can draw into it the second turn. Given the builds that I have been testing, it's so simple to draw into. So don't play 3 Summoner's Art in Gaia the Fierce Knight for Speedles. It makes no sense. There's no reason to. Especially if you're already playing Charging Gaia like this guy is at 3. You don't need 3 Summoner's Arts. You're going to be just fine. Okay?
In total, in your whole deck right here. It allows you to search him, and then you can basically bring him out with Knight of Legend. Knight of Legend. Sorry. You want to see this card as soon as possible. You want to bring this card out into your monster zone as soon as possible in the game, no matter what, to basically bulldoze and smash through your opponent's life points as quickly as possible to pressure them. This deck does run out of resources very quickly, so you do want to end the duels in these early game stages.
You're going to be winning anyways. Mid games. You're usually not going to go to the end of the far into the game, real to the end of the deck, unless you're playing against something like Stall. Even then, you're doing piercing, whatever. But you're not going to be ending games super duper early, especially with this build, because it's slow. This build is slow. It's so slow because yeah, you have 3 Summoner's Art, you have 3 Gaias. You play 3 Sphere Kuribohs, but what are your other monsters you're summoning? well, I'm summoning 3 Charging Gaia, and I'm summoning nothing else because I played 2 Old Vindictive Magician. Again, I get it. This is a $30 budget build. But again, why not just stop wasting time and let's just build the $60 one? Or it's not even $60 because you can buy the cards online. It's so cheap. Why waste the time to make this profile, right? But let's just move on.
In within 5 turns even sometimes, I would say. If it goes beyond like to the late game where it's like 10 turns or above, this deck does get punished very, very hard, and you guys will fall behind, and it's very difficult to win from there. Anyways, moving to our next spell cards, I would play 3 Fighting Spirits to basically boost up your guy, the Fierce Knight.
Okay, so Fighting Spirit. If you don't know what Fighting Spirit does, it's an equip spell. It basically says whatever is equipped with it gains 300 attack for each monster your opponent controls. And if that monster would be destroyed by battle, you destroy the Fighting Spirit instead. Right? So it almost gives it that Union monster effect at the end. However, again, going back to, I get it, it's a $30 budget deck, right? Why waste the time with this? Why not go straight into having, something? You can buy this deck for $30 and get other cards that are a lot better. I get it. Why not play Bashing Shield? It's a card, you're normal summoning the guy anyway. It gives the monster 1,000 attack, and you don't take battle damage from that monster. So I don't understand why you would play this instead, other than the fact that this is a $30 budget version. So.
Monsters attack to give it more 300. It's a really great equip spell. Some of you guys who don't play the budget variant prefer Bashing Shield, and I highly agree with you guys. But keep in mind, this is the budget variant, so we're utilizing cards that are only a match of Millennium.
But again, why are we wasting time only building a deck from the match of the Millennium sets, right? There's no reason to, other than to make a filler for your channel, so that way you're constantly uploading. And if that's what you're doing, great. But make sure that's what you're saying that you're doing. Don't just say, oh, well, I'm doing this because it's a really cool idea. No, you're doing it so that way you can wait until more content. That you're just trying to put more content out. So.
Match of the Millennium within this deck. So Fighting Spirit is also really, really good. I would play 3 of to basically help boost off your monsters. That basically rounds up for our spells, and now moving to our traps. Now, I did say we don't really want to play traps at all in this deck, but there is a trap that is actually viable and very, very powerful as well. We're actually playing 3 Skill Successors. Now, keep in mind, if you would...
So the idea behind Skill Successor, you're not going to be setting it. I believe he says this, you never set it. The effect that you want to get off is getting Knight of Legends effect, drawing 2 and discarding a Skill Successor, because as an effect in Grave where you banish it, and then the monster gains 800 attack. Not the best. If you really need the attack boost, play Command Knights. You want to say, oh, well, this is a $30 budget. Tell people to go on TCG Player. You can get the same deck for $30. And it's better.
Never ever want to set this card. Do not set this card in your Choose Spell and Trap card zone at all, no matter what. Now here's the reason why, is because Knight of Legend prevents you from activating it. And you would never want to set it. Unless there is a very specific situation or scenario, you know that it will really, really help. And you really need to set it for whatever reason. Otherwise, never set this card. Keep this card in your hand. So what this card does is target one face-up monster you control.
Okay, we know what this does, okay? I've already explained it. Let's move on to the side deck. Because you're not playing an extra deck here, so. What's the side deck, What are we deciding to play? Let's see. One more Old Vindictive Magician. Even slower, great.
Just so in case if you're against
Let's keep going.
That really pop their monsters more frequently, because Guy the Fierce Knight can go over them. We're playing 2 DD Crows right here. Really, really powerful against...
Nothing against DD Crow.
Graveyard settings. Anything that utilizes graveyard effects, you can basically remove this card from play and basically sort of negate their effects, because that card is no longer in the graveyard. A great example is Skill Successor. If your opponent plays Skill Successor, on the other hand, you can use your DD Crow to remove that, so then you basically lift off that pressure on your side as well. Next, speaking of removing cards from the graveyard, graveyard, you want to play Soul Release right here.
If you're playing DD Crow, right, I get it. If you're playing Soul Release, I get it. Because banishing stuff from grave is nice. Because there are a few decks that care about that stuff, what's in the grave, right? Which one's better? I think it's still tossed up in the air. For being reactory to something, obviously DD Crow, but when it comes to your turn and just stopping your opponent from doing stuff, Soul Release, 100%.
Target up to 5 cards in any graveyards and banish them. Once again, a really good card against graveyard-centric decks, but you get to target more. However, you can't play it like DD Crow because DD Crow is a quick effect, and you can use it during either player's turn, which is really, really good. But Soul Release is also just really decent. Next, last but not least, we're playing 2 Spell Shattering Arrows.
So, I enjoy Spell Shattering Arrow as a card, but just listen.
Destroy as many face-up spells your opponent controls as possible. If you do it, inflict 500 damage for each destroyed. Really good against the decks that are playing a lot of like Mask of the Accursed, Nightmare Wheels.
No. Don't say Nightmare Wheel. Don't say any traps. Because Spell Shattering Arrow, as you just read, only destroys spell cards. It doesn't destroy traps. Okay? So, if you ever play Spell Shattering Arrow and you make a deck profile, right? Don't say, oh, it's great for destroying blah, 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 blah trap. Because it doesn't destroy traps. And this is the case for Twister a lot of the times as well, because it does destroy a face-up spell or trap. So if you're really concerned, and I think people are going to be moving more towards the traps. Anyway, Spell Shattering Arrow kind of just goes down, but I get why some people will play it. It's just for that extra little bit of burn. And if you're playing a burn deck, yeah, go ahead. Every time your opponent activates a spell, chain Spell Shattering Arrow. That's another 500 reactory. I get it.
Such those who play like continuous spells, continuous traps.
Again, don't say continuous traps. It doesn't destroy traps.
If you want to get removed them, there's going to be a lot of those types of decks in this meta as well. And since it's a spell card, you know, it works out with this deck overall. So never set this card as well. Keep in mind, because you don't want, if you set this card, you can't activate it because of Night of Legend. You want to activate all these cards from your hand. That's why there's a lot of hand traps and there's no other kind of different trap cards in this deck, just so you guys know. So that basically rounds off the entire Gaia the Fierce Knight budget deck profile. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to the Evoke channel for more awesome speed duel content. If you guys enjoy speed duels, this is the perfect place to be to learn about speed duels for beginners, casual players, for fun players, as well as competitive. We're going to make a lot of competitive decks coming on. Really excited for the meta, how it's going to change. Comment down below what you guys think.
It's terrible.
Feel free to share your ideas, what cards you guys might take out or add on. That belongs within the Match of the Millennium starter decks as well. Keep in mind, this is the budget deck version, so we will be creating a full-on competitive optimized version sometime down the road, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Also stay tuned for the Toon deck that we're going to be releasing, deck profile that we will be making out of the Match of Millennium deck for Pegasus as well, and then we will be playing that Toon deck against this deck on that versus match duel match in a few days, so be sure to click that notification.
Avolt's not for, it's not good for learning for beginners. It's not good for anyone. But yeah. Look, I forgot how long that video was. So what I'm going to do, that's my reactions. I get it. You know, asking what people think is always great, right? I do it and say, what do you think about this? What's your opinions on it? But asking for ideas is just asking for free content, and I'm always against that. But, you know, when someone says, oh, we'd like to see this, yeah, that's fine, you know. And then the creators go when they make whatever they're going to make, it's fine, right? But say, you know, what other ideas do you have for me for other decks, and you know how to build them and things like that? Yeah, you know. But anyways, oh, This was interesting. Again, the Karibo Bros one, I think it's just misguided and not knowing how to play Relinquished optimally, and that's okay. When it comes to A vaults, it's just not good because it's just filler, right? And you make that defense, oh, well, it's not good right now because it's just filler, right? It's supposed to be for budget players. If you really want to get people into the game, maybe you should direct them to TCG Player, where they can build a meta deck by ordering the Speed Duel cards and still paying the $30 or less. So, yeah, that's gonna be it for me. That A Vault one really sucked a lot out of me. It's just bad. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? We'll do more of these for sure. I'll upload Dylan's deck profile that he won with recently, probably later today. And yeah, like I said, that's going to be it for me, and I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. So until next time, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the normal stuff. Give it a share. Check out the Patreon. Join the Discord. We'd rather have the Discord than the Patreon. Join the Discord. I have some good conversations in there and stuff. So yeah. Till next time, guys. See ya.